Hello, fourth grade. Mrs. Hyde here, your favorite reading teacher. You have been learning about myths, and many of our myths come from the Greeks. And so I wanted to give you just a brief history of the Greeks and why those myths continue to be passed down to us today. All right, here is a map of the world. Right here is the United States. If you travel across the Atlantic Ocean, you go into Europe. This long piece is Italy. Right here is the country of Greece today. Here's a closer picture. There's Italy again, and here is Greece. Now, today, Greece is a very small country, but thousands of years ago, Greece was very, very powerful in the ancient world. Here is a timeline. If 0 is the birth of Christ, anything before we call BC, before Christ, or another term would be BCE, before the Common Era. Right here is where about the time frame of the Greek Empire. If you go this way, this is common day. Right here would be our year 2020 AD, or Anno Domini, which means in the year of the Lord. All right, the Greeks. In 776, they had the first Olympic Games to be held in Athens, and this is just a replica of what Athens looked like at the time. And so this is an important piece of their culture that they've continued to pass to us. In the first Olympic Games, no women could participate, only men. In 770 BC, the Greeks invented the first true alphabet. There were some alphabets before this Greek alphabet, but they were the first to assign a letter to every sound, and then you could combine those letters together to create words. Not long after the invention of the Greek alphabet, Homer wrote the Iliad and the Odyssey. Now, the Greeks loved learning and appreciated learning. So in 386, Plato created the first university. He called it the Academy. It was in Athens, and it was a place where men could go to study philosophy, math, science. We do know 2 women attended the Academy, but obviously it was mainly men who got to attend. Now, one of the famous students at the Academy was Aristotle. He became a very famous philosopher in the Greek culture, and he developed a library. So many of his writings were placed into that library. We still have them today. And Aristotle was hired to tutor Alexander the Great. Now, Alexander became king of Greece, and while he was king, he decided to go conquering. And so he is the one who made Greece the great empire that it became at that time. One of the greatest conquerors of all time is Alexander the Great. And his empire became the greatest in the ancient world. He conquered into Africa and all the way into Asia. And because his influence was so great among the world at that time, the Greek culture, the Greek stories, their learning has all been passed down to us.